The king in the north! The king in the north!
Yo, as always, like, share, subscribe. Now let's just get into it. So finally, The Rock has come back. Nah. Finally, it's almost time for the season. We're going to get into this pre-game analysis. Finally. And I'm also going to answer those questions I asked y'all to drop a couple weeks ago. There's not that many, so at the end of the video I'll answer those questions. But Michigan will play New Mexico in Ann Arbor. I believe it's the August 30th, I believe. And it's a night game also, so great. We're gonna have to wait all day for that. I'm old, I get sleepy, but I digress. But yeah, New Mexico comes in, and they were 5-7 last year. They got a new coach, Jason Eck. He was at Idaho last year. Remember Idaho? They gave Oregon a scare last year. Also, it was it was kind of a low scoring game. Oregon pulled away at the end, but yeah, they gave them a scare, and he brought some of his players with him to Idaho. Similar to how these coaches do, like Cignetti did at Indiana last year. You bring those guys, they're comfortable in the system and they're knowledgeable of the system. So it eases the learning curve, because I've been, it's my head coach, so I know what he expects and how to keep that culture, that helps a coach instill his culture at the new job or on the new team. So with that being said, you gotta. We're all expecting this to be a blowout. I ain't gonna sit on here and act like we playing Georgia or somebody. But when you have a team that's got some continuity with some of the same players that came from his old system in Idaho, you just want to be aware, because you want to be aware and be focused, because it's not like we've got 3 cupcakes. We've got New Mexico, then we have Oklahoma. So you don't want to be looking ahead to Oklahoma like, oh man, it's New Mexico, we just gonna blow these dudes out. No, football ain't played that way. No sport is played that way, really. So the thing I want to see for Michigan, and the thing that we all want to see, I'm not gonna touch on the offense first. I'm gonna make you wait for that one. I know you want to hear about it. Defensively, because let me rewind the clock. Last year, Wink came in. We had Fresno State came in. Defense looked good at first. Then he started flip-flopping, putting third stringers in. He was getting wild with the rotation. And I'm sitting at home like, what is he doing? And the defense was making mistakes. I hope he learned from that you don't have the luxury to do that. You didn't last year, and you really don't this year. You don't have that luxury. You have to get those starters. And those first man off the bench. You have to get them some consistency. You have to give them consistency in this game. So those third and fourth guys off the bench that probably aren't going to be in the rotation, you shouldn't be playing them until it's a blowout. Let your starters and your first guys off the bench get in a rhythm and get in a rotation before we go to Oklahoma next week. I mean, the week after. That's the focus. I hope he doesn't do that again, because that's what really kept Fresno State in the game. Wink was just flip-flopping all these dudes. And it's like, bro, what are you doing? This is a 4th-stringer. I know this dude ain't going to play. Some of them dudes we didn't see after that first game, we didn't see them again. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. But honestly, I'm expecting the defense to play lights if he doesn't do that, which I hope he learned from last year. I'm expecting the defense to be lights out. Hold Fresno to 7 or 10. I mean, not Fresno. hold New Mexico to 7 or 10 points, control, not even a control butt whooping, just straight domination on defense. You can't do anything. If you're not getting sacked, you're just getting rid of it just to get rid of it. You're not even really looking to make the throw. You're just trying to get it out of your hands so you don't get sacked and you don't get hit anymore. That's what I expect from the defense, But also defensively, you want to see some of these newer guys, see how they fit, see how they fit, and see how they're looking in the system. You want to see how some of these newer guys look. TJ Metcalf, I want to see how he's looking. TJ Guy, you're starting. I trust TJ Guy, so honestly, I'm not worried about him. But a guy like Dominic Nichols, a young guy that looks like a monster, bro. Dominic Nichols looks the part, and that's half the battle for me. I need you to look like you're supposed to be on that field. I need to look like you're ready to dominate. I need to see it. I need to see that you've taken it serious, not just in the film room, not just on the practice field, but in the weight room too. Dominic Nichols looks like a monster. He's 6'5", 250 something, and he looks like he's ready to wreak havoc. So I want to see how he looks. I want to see some of those backups, how they look when they get in the game. Them, Cam Brandt, the rotation. Trey Pierce and the new D tackles, not really Rashawn Benny, but some of the new additions to the team. I want to see how they look. And I'm interested to see who'll be the other starting safety. Who's going to be at that nickel spot? Will it be TJ Metcalf? Will it be Hillman in the slot, or will he be back deep? Where do they do with Mason Curtis? So I'm interested to see some of these things because we really don't know yet. But either way, I'm expecting the defense to play lights out. 10 points, 14 probably the most, something like that. 14 points, even if it's garbage time, about 10 points. I'm expecting them to dominate. Offensively, and shout out to Andrew Babaloa. He's done for the year. I don't think I touched on that on my channel. But he got injured in practice the other day, and he's done for the year. It sucks that he got hurt because he was battling Andrew Link for that starting left tackle job. And if he didn't get it, Michigan likes to do those big sets where you bring in extra offensive linemen. He could have got some work in doing that also. You know what I'm saying? So I hate it, highly touted. Hopefully he gets this out of the way and he's healthy the rest of his career. Hopefully. But me saying that, it's on Evan Link. It's time to put up or shut up, brother. We all gonna be watching him. We all gonna be watching him to see, has he improved and is he better? Has he gotten better, or is it similar? Now, I'm not sure if he'll be tested with New Mexico. New Mexico's got some dudes that transferred in from not just like Idaho, but also some big Power 5 schools. So they've got some dudes that have the talent, I guess you would say, on paper. So he'll get tested, and you can notice when it's there or not. You'll be able to notice it. You know what I'm saying? But the big thing before I get into the offense, that last year was the quarterbacks. We didn't get enough we didn't get a transfer quarterback. You had your Harbaugh went to the NFL. Sharon took a minute before they got him the job. Then Kirk Campbell's told Sharon, I can do something with these guys. You learn your lesson and you killing it in recruiting. Now with the offensive line, Evan Link is you're hoping he can develop. I don't want to trust on hope. And if I'm the coach like Sharon, I don't want to trust on hope. So I hope Evan Link can live up to his potential. He fits the part. He's huge. He's 6'6", 315 or something. But I don't want to say this already, but I'm watching, because why didn't you get a few veteran tackles in the transfer portal? Like, there's almost no excuse for holes or question marks. Why? Get a tackle out of the portal. Hopefully Evan Link lives up to his potential, but if he doesn't, I hope this is a learning lesson for Sharon Moore. Don't question it. Cover all your bases. Yeah, I got Babaloa. Yeah, I got Evan Link, who hopefully he'll get better with under my tutelage. But I'm still going to grab 2 tackles. Not just one, I'm going to grab 2. You know, a backup and a spare. Just in case. Because I need to make sure this offensive line is steady Eddie for my big-time quarterback and to open holes for my stud running backs. So I'm going to be watching that because I can't take it. We got to make the playoff. I can't take it again. So now offensively, and some of y'all might have heard me say this before. Offensively, I want to see execution because that's what football is about at the end of the day. It ain't about stealing signs. It ain't about, oh, we've got the best players. It ain't about none of that really. Now, better players help. Coaching helps. It's about execution. Can your players out execute the other team? Can they out execute? Can they make those plays when they're there to be made? That's what it's about. Not much more, honestly. It's about executing. So I want to something we barely saw the offense do last year was execute, even against Cupcakes. I want to see them execute. I want to see big holes opened up for the running backs where they 20-yard gain, 30-yard gain, 40-yard gain, 50-yard gain. Oh, he's gone 60? I want to see that in the playing a lower level school. I want to see these big touchdown plays from the running backs and even the passing game. But I'll touch on the passing game in a second. Because when that means you're executing. No matter what they're doing, we're executing. I don't care what y'all doing. We're executing our playbook. And very well. And that's what you should do. And that's what you want to see going against these lower level teams. You want to see execution. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm looking for. I want to see some big time runs from Hayes, and I want to see big time runs from Jordan Marshall. Law and Order. I want to see Law and Order already. Season 1 on DVD. Ready to go. Push play. Yeah, I want to see them cooking. I want to see that offensive line pushing guys back and creating holes for these guys to go crazy. Because when you run the ball successfully, and that's what you have to do, you always want to start with the bread and butter, which is the run game. Because when you can run the ball successfully, teams quit. It's only a matter of a time before a team quits. So that's what we want to see. That's the bread and butter for us. I don't know about other teams. The run game is the bread and butter. You want to run it down their throat, and I want to see these guys executing big, long runs, big plays, 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards, 50 yards. You know, get this over quick, healthy. Now, the passing game. What do I want to see from the passing game? Same thing I want to see from the run game, execution. I want to see guys executing, understanding what they have to do. Now, Bryce, we're going to probably see some growing pains. I'm going to be also watching Evan Link on his pass blocking to see how he looks. But the thing about it is, last year, Michigan had guys in the box because Davis Warren, Jack Tuttle, Alex Orji, these guys couldn't beat you over the top. They couldn't hit those deep throws. They just couldn't do it. No matter which one of them it was. They couldn't hit those throws. So I want to see Bryce Underwood hit one deep bomb. I don't need to see a bunch of deep throws. I just need to see him hit one deep bomb. One pass 40 yards. Oh, y'all got all these guys in the box. Guess what? Play action pass. Let them see it. Pull it. Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, you thought I couldn't hit that? Because until he proves that, we're probably going to see 8 guys in the box. You got to prove it to me. That's what I'm saying. If I'm a defensive coach, you got to prove it to me, because I'm not going to just let Law and Order run all over me. This young dude got to prove it to me first. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if you see Chip Lindsey dial up a deep ball, maybe even the first play. Maybe. Knowing us, we're gonna run it just because that's what we do. You know, we're gonna smash. We're gonna smash. But I need to see him at least look comfortable. Something, and I touched on this before, something I never saw. I saw Davis Warren look comfortable for a second last year. Second here or there. Never saw Alex Orji look comfortable, not once last year. And I saw him in 2023 look comfortable on a few plays that he came in. But last year, never once did I see him look comfortable. Jack Tuttle, saw him for maybe a quarter look comfortable. I want to see them get Bryce settled in. No matter how it is with the RPO, quick game, screens, a deep pass, get him comfortable, and so his confidence is through the roof going into Oklahoma. That's the biggest thing with Bryce. You don't want to have him throw it too much and then it kills his confidence because it's not going well. You want to give him easy throws, easy throws, game manager, and he gets out of there 12 of 15 with a couple touchdowns. 15 of 19, 1 TD or 2 TDs, no interceptions. All right, good start, son. We're going into Oklahoma. So he's got nothing but confidence oozing. Don't pause me. We talking football now. Pause is over. I'm done with it. The season about to start. We're talking football. You got time for no pausing. So, out of the pass game, that's really what I want to see. Get him his confidence and hit a deep throw. Who the number one, who's gonna step up besides McCulley? I really don't know. But I want to see a deep pass. I don't care who it is. I don't care who the pass is to. McCulley, Samaj, Fred Moore, Andrew Marsh, Browder. I don't care who the deep pass is to. I just need to see it executed. But I see this one getting ugly. Who doesn't? It's not saying much, but 40-10, 45 to 14, something like that. 38 to 10, something like that. But we're gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to see it. I'm hoping they can at least come out and manhandle them up front, and then it's just gonna get ugly. If they're manhandling guys up front, it's just gonna get ugly. But it's a new system. They may have some growing pains with the first game, and they may be too antsy to get it all back, to get nothing but big plays. You know what I'm saying? And that's not how you play the game. You execute play after play. You take what the defense gives you. Play after play after play. Touchdown. You take what they give you. There's the big play. You don't just, okay, I'm trying to get the big play. That's how you make mistakes. Take what they give you. Run the offense the way it's supposed to be ran, and before you know it, you'll start matriculating and touchdown. Before you know it, boom, we in the red zone, field goal, touchdown, that's how it's played. When you try to get it all back in one play over and over, you keep trying to compensate, that's when you get in trouble. So the guys just need to be patient and let the offense come to them, take what the defense gives them, and then before you know it, we'll be up 38-10 or something, And I'm expecting the defense to cause havoc where they can't really do much anyway. So that's it for my analysis. And then I'm gonna read these not super chats, but these questions y'all dropped. There ain't too many of them. So let's see. Corey Banks said, "What's up, JOJ? What is it going to be? What is going to be Buckeye fans' go-to excuse when we hand them the fifth straight L this season? Go Blue." Oh, let's see. What's going on with their team? Oh, step on up. Julian saying is trash. Julian saying. It's going to be, I can tell you right now, it's going to be one of these three. Julian saying, they're going to blame Julian. They're going to blame Heartline, or they're going to blame Matt Patricia. Might be a couple of them. They might blame Julian and Matt Patricia, or they might blame Julian and then Brian Heartline. No, most likely it's going to be Julian saying. I can tell you that. It's probably going to be him to take the blame. Let's see. Ross Hickson says, "Ever see a channel called the JSA Studio? Might be cool to get him on with the boys. Y'all might be a little too rowdy for him though." I don't really know who that is. Readings by Dom. Dom said, "How many teams will Michigan shut out beyond OSU?" Man, I don't know, Dom. I'm gonna say 3. I'm gonna say 3. Not sure who it'll be. Maybe Central. It could be New Mexico. You know, I'm going to say 3, though. Wayne Woodard, appreciate the comment. He says, "Hey, Johnny, what do you think of Michigan starting the year ranked 14th in the AP coaches poll?" That's where I like that. I like that. Because the expectation isn't too high. You know, when you got high expectation, you need a veteran team. You want a veteran team, should I say? When you start off the season in the top 10 or the top 5 or something, you want a veteran team because they can handle it. You know, sometimes a younger team will start feeling themselves just off of a ranking. You know, and you don't really want that. You know, so 14 that lets them know right off the bat you got something to prove. Other coaches don't think we the 14th best team. Go out and show them we better than that. You know, the AP poll thinks you the 14th, the 15th best team. Go out and show them. Go out and show them who we really are. You know, that's what I like. Something to build towards, something to motivate. That's what I like. I like being ranked that low. You know, so and best believe they're gonna have the chance to get a big jump when they play Oklahoma week 2. So that ranking, we're going to either drop or we're going to get a nice boost, you know, after week 2. So that's the thing. We beat Oklahoma. We get a solid win against Oklahoma. We'll probably end up in the top 10, especially that week because we're the only ranked game week 2. So everybody else is playing scrubs or cupcakes. And so that'll be a jump for us because the other teams that the ranked matches were week 1. So that's right where I like that 14 because this team does have a lot to prove. And I hope they know that and keep that chip on their shoulder. Let's see. He low key, appreciate the comment. He says, "Have any concern with no back-to-back home games this year? We packing up to hit the road every other week." That's wild. That's wild that I don't know how that happened. The Big Ten or whoever had this happen, it's bull. There's no way we should have a home and away, home and away, home and away, home and away, home and away. It's just wild to me. But this is if anything, you're gonna need that foxhole mentality, and you're gonna have to bring it because you're not going to have the security of playing in the big house back to back to back or something like that. Every week you packing it. Every other week you packing it up. Let's take it on the road. We're taking this show on the road. So let's get it. You know. Now people say we have an easier schedule, which we do. Us not having any back-to-back home games makes that schedule a little bit tougher than it is on paper. It makes it a little bit tougher than it is on paper. So it is what it is. Do I like it? No, I don't. If Michigan has a Joe Moore level offensive line, what do you think the ceiling of this team is? Appreciate that, DeReal Kale. If they have a Joe Moore level offensive line, I think this team could go 11-1. Honestly, they might be able to go undefeated. Honestly, because the offensive line is, I don't have any doubts on the defense. My doubts are offensive line and receiver and Bryce, I guess you would say, since he's a freshman. He's never played. I got to have some worry about him. But if that offensive line is that good, a lot of this stuff is going to fall into place because Bryce will be able to be a game manager. You're kind of in a similar role of JJ. So you can be a game manager. You let Hayes, Law and Order, carry the load. You just don't turn it over when we ask you to pass. These running backs gonna carry the load. You just don't turn it over. You know? So if they're that good, we playoff bound. And by the time the playoff come, your freshmen are now sophomores. Your sophomores are really now juniors. Shout out to Vance Bedford. You know? So at that point, hey, we're trying to make a run for a championship. Hey, I know somebody's going to say, oh, Johnny, this is how I look at it real quick. Once you make the playoff, you don't know what the seeding is going to be. Once you see the seeding, you might have some teams that you're going to beat. As soon as you see, we play them, they lunch meat. You know what I'm saying? If you got boys, you get in the playoff and you got a Boise or you had to play SMU or something like that, they lunch meat. And then you end up with Penn State. Hey, I'm taking my chances. Hey, babe, we might be able to win the championship on the low ski. Or at least make it. Like, you don't know what the scenario will be with the seeding. You know what I'm saying? So once you get in, hey, we in the playoff. Let's go and mess around and win us a championship. You know, that's high hopes. We don't even, this is going off of what he said, the offensive line, if they were that level. We don't know if they are. This is all hypothetical before somebody's, you're saying they're going to win the championship already? This was off of a hypothetical question. Calm down. So, I think that was it. And then Daniel Trevera asked about the hammer, and I made the hammer video. So that's about it. We also got Savion Hyder yesterday. That's stocking up high level talent, high caliber athletes. Number one quarterback, just got him last year. Number one running back, got him now. And we're loading up on defensive players, offensive linemen, D tackles. Michigan is recruiting at a very high clip, adding high caliber guys that want to be at Michigan, even though the hammer's going to drop. The hammer's going to drop on you, Scott. I couldn't help myself. Even though the hammer's going to drop. So Michigan is leveling up in recruiting. So all Sharon Moore has to do is keep leveling up his actual coaching abilities in game. Leveling up his scheme and his knowledge and his coaching acumen so he can catch up, because he's first-time coach last year. First-time head coach. So now you're just trying to catch up with your knowledge and the things inside the game, when to call this timeout, when to go no huddle, in the 2-minute warning or when to go no huddle, when when the team is a little down, you know, when the offense is sputtering, should I maybe go no huddle or do I need to do a trick play? You know, things like that. The game within the game for a head coach. So that's it. That's all I got for this one, y'all. I expect Michigan to dominate New Mexico, and then it's on to Oklahoma. So that's all I got for this one, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue.
Great!